Ezio, come in, son. I need these packages delivered to associates of mine in the city. I also need you to retrieve a message for me from a pigeon coop not too far from here.
Va bene. I'll get it done.
Come back here when you're finished. There are some things we need to discuss. And please, my son, stay out of trouble. Hmm?
So this is just a, oh, letters. Let's just take a quick peek. Oh. Okay, I guess we can't read this. Well, I suppose, but, oh. Hey, we got another one, and... What? Where's the trust? Okay, so we have to deliver this stuff, and it's just pretty standard, running around, and oh, I'm going the wrong way. We're off to a bad start. Yeah, check the map again. They're still in the same place. Yep. Head down that way, and we can knock out that viewpoint while we're there. Okay, let's take this regular route right here. Get on up to the rooftops and make our way around pretty quick. Ooh. There's our point. Let's just get over there and get climbing. So, you'll notice that we have some things, as I mentioned before, getting unlocked mission by mission, and nope, not getting that feather. We're going up here. So yeah, we're just, bit by bit, you get gameplay mechanics and various things unlocked. So for a while, there's a lot of stuff that kind of drips in for us to see, as opposed to the first game where it's, well, you got a dagger, go ahead and do all the counter moves. You've done them all? Fantastic. You've seen all the dagger has to offer. I love the scenery in this game. So you might wonder why I mentioned stuff being unlocked. Well, that brings us to a database entry here. It's time for some more reading. So this is where later on we'll be able to buy goods.
Perhaps another time.
But for now, we can't do anything. Everything's all grayed out. We'll be back some other time.
You Giovanni's kid?
No, idiota. He just happens to look exactly like the man.
Give it here. Don't worry, boy. We're not contagious. Least I'm not.
Well, that's one bird down. And a chest that'll probably not have much at all. Eh, it's something. Well, first course of action, just get on back to the high ground. Well, let me see here. Nothing near the north viewpoint, but we'll knock this out and then we'll head to that other viewpoint. Ooh. Oh, I thought my depth was off when I was doing that jump. So something to bear in mind for the next few moments. In my mind right now, I forgot quest objective. I was thinking viewpoint. There's a tower. Hell yes, it would. Who was that? This is me in genuine confusion because I forgot what I was doing. Oh, yeah, right.
I have a delivery from...
Giovanni Alatore?
Yes.
Were you followed?
No. Why would I be followed?
Give me the package. Tell your father that they're moving tonight. He should as well.
Who's moving? What's going on here? Wait! Come back! Explain yourself!
Well, still kind of in the dark on the details here. Got one more thing to knock out and a viewpoint. So let's just head on eastward and knock out that other viewpoint and... Oh, right. On second thought, let's not do that viewpoint right now. I'll save it for when it's a little more relevant. But speaking of this rather distinctive building, this is the Palazzo della Signoria. So the Palazzo della Signoria had a number of aliases through the eras, and one of them was the Palazzo Vecchio, or the Old Palace. Now, it was built in 1299 on the site of a family's former home or property. This family, the Ubertis, were said to have been enemies of Florence Pragnir. The square and the palace were built so that those people could never rebuild their home on or around the general area. That display we just saw was the contextual camera. It'll come up from time to time. So something is going on. That's probably what we were hearing from those other people we were running errands to. Only thing now is just to head back home and check with Ezio's father and find out what the deal is. But as I mentioned, the square and palace were built on the site of the Uberti family's homes. The tower, which was originally known as the Cow, or La Vaca, was owned by the Foraboschi family, who lived near the Ubertis. It's a place where they usually had public executions, particularly treasonous folk would be hung directly from the Palazzo Vecchio itself. So it had a bit of a grim history to it. The square is where they usually had all those executions. You could see that they had scaffoldings and such. Nope. So let's just go ahead and make a jump for this and fuck. Oh, my legs. Okay. Legs still work. We're good to go.
Father? Federico!
Serezio! I'm sorry, I'm so sorry!
Father? Federico!
Serezio! Thank God!
What happened? Where is everyone?
They took your father and brothers to the Palazzo della Signoria, to prison.
And my mother? My sister?
Ezio.
Claudia? Are you all right?
Yes, but Mother... She's in shock. When she resisted...
It's not safe here. Is there someplace you can take them?
Yes, yes, to my sisters.
Good, do that. In the meantime, I'll go see my father.
Be careful, Messer Ezio. The guards were looking for you as well.
So you see why I skipped past that viewpoint earlier. We're gonna be heading right back over the Palazzo della Signoria. So it seems the shit has kinda hit the fan, so to speak. People we're sending letters to, they were telling us to get the hell out of town, and seems our father was going to sit down and talk with us about what was going on. And before I forget, you see these cloths everywhere. This is for Ezio's family, the Auditores. It's the coat of arms or what have you. You see them pretty much throughout the game for various families. And Sean's corkboard outside the game had a bunch of family, you know, coat of arms or crests upon it, and they were all corresponding to major ones in the game. So, first things first, the Palazzo is a little bit different to climb. There are a whole bunch of windows on the front and the sides that look real tempting to climb, but, well, kind of like Giotto's Campanile, you cannot really climb upward past a point if you do that sort of stuff. So we have to get creative and find a better way to climb up. So best bet is to circle around and see what we can find. I'll give y'all a better look when we get a little bit closer. But yeah, you can see those windows. There's like nothing, pretty much. There's no way we'd be able to climb up a level. But this backside... turn the camera to the left. That backside. That looks pretty decent, and there's a building right there that's willing to help me. So you can also see on the map, the area is shaded red. That basically means it's an oh shit, you're gonna get attacked area. If anybody sees me here, they will immediately attack me. It's an off-limits... Whoop! It's an off-limits area. Turn around. There we go. Well, we could be sneaky and avoid him, but I don't wanna. I got plans. What the... What the hell happened? Okay. Let's work him over this way. Come on, let's just... What the... I was hoping for something a little more dramatic, but... Finish what you start. It's my thing. Leave me alone. Let me see. We have another guy on the map up here. Let's see if I can't be a little bit more successful. Whoa, what? You can't do that, what the? Hey. What? I think his arm just clipped in the wall. I don't think they're able to do that, are they? Well, enough of that. We've got to climb up there. Ezio, stop it. Hopping time's over. He was kind of stuck up there for a moment. There's another guard in the corner over there, but we'll just leave him be.
Ezio. Father, what's happened?
Took a bit of a beating, but I'm all right. What of your mother and sister?
Safe now.
Annetta took them.
Yes. Wait. You knew this would happen?
Not the way it did, and not this soon. Doesn't matter now.
What do you mean? Explain!
There's no time. Listen closely. Return to the house. In my office is a hidden door. Use your talent to find it. Beyond lies a chest. Take everything you find inside. Much of it may seem strange to you, but all of it is important. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Among the contents is a letter, and with it some documents. I need you to take these documents to Mr. Roberto. He was with me in the office this morning.
The Gonfaloniere, I remember. Now please, tell me what's happening. Are the Pazzi behind this? There was a note for you at the pigeon. It said, "Go, Ezio. Go now."
Well, that was awful inconsiderate, because I've got a viewpoint to climb. Well, let's skip halfway through that climb, because you already just saw it a moment ago. Yeah, Pops ain't in there no more. Kind of a distinctive tower up here. I kind of like the overall design it's got going for it. As you can see, it's not a usual copy-paste tower design, thankfully. Very distinctive bell tower. Well, let's go ahead and make our way down to the square, or the piazza. You can see the scaffolding there, where they usually do the hangings and all that stuff. And also, hey, there's a statue over there. Let's get a better angle. Nice building. Okay, this statue is a statue by Benvenuto Cellini. It's Perseus with the head of Medusa. It's not perfect, but... uh-oh. Well, it's not perfect, but it's okay. I kind of had to squint at it for a bit and look around at sculptures of the era, and I was kind of like, I guess that's it. Oh, and we've got something else right here that I changed my mind about right about now. And now. We have heralds.
Notice concerning the Republic's fountains. Please do not use dyes or pure in municipal water sources. Remember, all tanning must be conducted outside the city limits. Offenders will be fined. Good people of Firenze, a message from the Arte della Lana. May this year's festival of San Giovanni be a time of great joy and pride in our great città. The masters of the guild wish all another successful year. State attenti. As a consequence of the flooding further up the Arno, a small tax shall be imposed for repairs. All battelli sailing into the main staging docks of the city shall be tolled based on tonnage. To all respected members of the Arte del Cambio, the biannual Congress has been postponed due to the legal concerns now confronting the Gonfaloniere. It shall be held sometime after the execution.
Well, that's enough of that. They've got a number of them they spout off, and I just wanted to hang around until he started looping them around.
Father said there was a door here. To bring this to Messer Roberto.
And another letter. Guess what? We can't read it. Oh well. So, we have our ass-kicking robes on, and we have a sword. Fantastic.
Traditore!
Hey, what's with the swords? Aren't you supposed to arrest me?
No.
There he is.
What do you want then?
Traitor!
For you to die.
Well, that's not going to happen. So why don't we explore other options?
Well, that was interesting, but let's get going. We have to head to the Gonfaloniere. Let's just head this way. And I am heading in the complete opposite direction for no reason whatsoever. And I find out right about now. But wait! Database!
The quality of our stitching is late. Here you know you are getting the best.
So yeah, we can dye our robes in this game. Bunch of set colors, unfortunately. As long as they don't come back fuchsia or something, we should be okay.
Not a very good buffon, is he?
So, the Gonfaloniere. The post is kind of interesting in that they, every 2 months or so, out of a pool of 9 people, they will redraw out of that committee, and that person will be Gonfaloniere for about 2 months, and it's kind of hard to describe. I couldn't find much in the way of details I could dig through and figure out, but basically he's just a high-level official, and he's basically the Gonfaloniere of justice. Which kind of like the sheriff or something, maybe above that actually, kind of a pseudo-sheriff slash mayor. Uh-oh. Pardon me, fellas. Getting a little...
Love the smell of Rome. Criminal. I'm losing it.
Getting just a little bit crowded up here.
After him. Hurry.
Yeah, you throw like a girl. They still throw stones. But I want to try something on this guy. Let me just grab him and... Whoop! Nope.
Get him.
I didn't want to do that. Huh. Well, it panned out anyways. And I had something interesting planned. Well, let's just go ahead and turn this in and get this over with.
Ezio Auditore? What are you doing here at this hour?
I don't...
Wait, child. Take a breath. Collect your thoughts.
My father and brothers have been imprisoned. I was told to bring you this.
I see now. It's a misunderstanding, Ezio. I'll clear everything up.
How?
The documents you've given me contain evidence of a conspiracy against your family and against the city. I'll present these papers at their hearing in the morning, and they'll be released.
Thank you, Signore.
Of course, my child. Do you need a place to stay? You're more than welcome here.
No, grazie. I'll meet you at the piazza.
Don't worry, Ezio. Everything is going to be fine.
So just a side note, you'll hear the words palazzo and piazza kicked around a lot. Palazzo, palace, or castle, and piazza is a square. So we just gotta head into the square and get this wrapped up. And then we can hopefully get some details on what the hell's going on. Whoa.
I've some of the best equipment in all the district.
Eh, we can buy some equipment some other time. Sorry, buddy. Let's just... Yep. Take a quick peek over here. Kind of a side note, you'll notice I have a bit of an obsession with the water in this game. Well, it's not as unsafe as it was in the first game, thankfully. That's right, Ezio can swim. But that's something for another day in the future. For now, we have something else to attend to. I see a red blip over there, so let's just take a bit of a shortcut. I'd rather not have to deal with the scuffle. Oh, conveniently placed ladder. And we're back by the Herald. Ha! Nice brakes.
Before the evening procession of Santa Croce gets underway, there will be a fine if not.
Giovanni Auditore, you and your accomplices stand accused of the crime of treason. Have you any evidence to counter this charge?
Yes, the documents that were delivered to you last night.
I'm afraid I know nothing of these documents.
He's lying! Need to get closer.
In the absence of any compelling evidence to the contrary, I am bound to pronounce you guilty. You and your collaborators are hereby sentenced to death.
You are the traitor, Roberto, and one of them. You may take our lives this day, but we will have yours in return, I swear! We will!
Father!
There! Grab the boy! He's one of them!
I'll kill you for what you've done!
Guards! Arrest him! Abatetelo.
Better run, boy. And fast.
No!
Taking that advice to heart. I don't like these odds. Thankfully, they cannot keep up with me going this way. Just gotta get out of that little orange zone, and we should be good to go.
I've got a little request for you. I've identified several strange markings that I've discovered right across Renaissance Italy. Now, I don't know what they're doing there, but I want you to help me find out. Rebecca has marked their general location in the database with an eye icon, and she's made them glow as well. Keep an eye out.
Ser Ezio, thank God. I've been looking everywhere for you.
I couldn't stop them, Annetta. I tried, I swear. But there were so many guards.
Please, come with me. We need to get you off the streets.
What of my mother and sister?
They're safe. I'll bring you to them.
No. It's too dangerous for us to travel together. Tell me where to go and I'll meet you there.
My sister's house. Just north of the Duomo.
I'm on my way.
And so it begins. At this point, all Ezio's got left is his sister and his mother. First order of business, getting the hell out of Dodge. See you next time. In this update, we saw Santa Maria del Fiore, but there's a lot of information on it, and I wanted to give it its own little time all to itself. The basilica was built on the site of a church that dated back to the 5th century, which was basically about to collapse on itself due to wear. Given how other city-states have begun massive rebuildings and ambitious architectural designs, Florence wanted to follow that up with a gigantic church to replace this one. Now, the original architect, Arnolfo di Cambio, actually constructed 2 other major buildings in this area, the Palazzo della Signoria, which we've seen, and the Santa Croce, which will come up in the near future. However, this was a huge undertaking and would understandably take decades to complete. In the end, it took almost 170 years. Anyhow, when the original architect, Arnolfo, passed away, there were about 30 years where not much got done. This rut was fixed when the Florence Wool Merchants Guild, they stepped in and helped foot the bill for this. And one thing you have to bear in mind is just the strength behind these guilds, particularly the wool merchants. Giotto di Bandone was brought on board, but he passed away long before the completion. However, in this time he began work on Giotto's Campanile. By the early 15th century, after going through several architects over the years, it was finally time to build the crown jewel of the design, the dome, or the Duomo. It was based on Arnolfo's original design and had to be part of the final church, but there was a snag. The dome was absolutely gigantic. This was the main reason why it was put off for so long. Prior to this point, the largest dome existing was the Pantheon in Rome, and this was to be even larger than that, and nothing of the scale had been attempted since the Roman Empire. So you could see this definitely as a solid indicator of Roman architectural ingenuity finally being surpassed. Now, the main issue, however, was that architects and officials connected to this outright forbade the usage of buttresses, which were ideal for alleviating stress and promoting structural integrity. And the reasoning behind this is kind of silly. Firstly, the architects, apparently they kind of crept off into the art direction on their views on this, and they basically thought that buttresses looked tacky or gaudy or something of the sort. I mean, they just thought they just looked bad and they didn't want to touch them. And others didn't approve for a slightly more legitimate reason, and that's because the other city-states that Florence saw as enemies, they iconically made lots of use of buttresses in their buildings, and Florence wanted to stand out, and they did not want to be just another one of the crowd. This made construction of the church, especially the dome, all the more difficult. Anyhow, the main concern was getting the dome to be sturdy. The dome's final design was to be 370 feet or 113 meters tall, and in diameter it was going to be 144 feet or 44 meters. And obtaining rafters and supports required for this, given the region's selection in trees and the length required, was almost impossible. Even with the era's lacking knowledge in structural design and innovation, it was clear to see that the scenario for the dome collapsing on itself would have been inevitable. Something to emphasize here also is that the architects at the time did what could almost be tagged as intuition. That's what they worked off of, and they lacked the knowledge to do stress or load calculations that are relied upon today. Many of the designs that are so long-lasting and effective were based on a very simple concept. And on that note, around this time, the Wool Merchants Guild decided to help solve this dilemma surrounding the dome by holding a competition for the architects of the era. It presented them with a test which would exhibit the very basics of what was needed in the design. The test was to make an egg stand upright on a piece of marble. Within the competition, however, there were two superstars in the architectural world involved. There was a fellow by the name of Filippo Brunelleschi and a fellow by the name of Lorenzo Ghiberti. People tried many designs and approaches, but Brunelleschi's was simple yet effective. Here's what he did. He picked up the egg, hit the bottom of it once so it was flattened. Then he let go and let it stand upright. The general reaction amid this was his competitors saying, wait, that's cheating, you can't do that. But seems the Wool Merchants Guild were swayed by this and kind of thought, well, let's take a look at your designs. They looked at it and agreed to let Brunelleschi lead the construction of the dome. The gist of it was this. You've got an octagonal base supporting the dome, right? Well, he made use of several large chains on the octagonal level of the dome, and these were strapped from wall to wall, and the chains were taut enough to the point where they were pulling on the walls of the octagonal base. And the overall mechanic is kind of similar to hoops on a barrel, and essentially it borrows from the general mechanic of a buttress for alleviating forces, although it was applied radially as opposed to, say, on a side or a front. In order to prevent this from pinching in on itself or causing deformation elsewhere, the dome's curvature upwards itself was lined with vertical ribs, and the brickwork was laid in a herringbone pattern. The lantern, or the ornament atop the dome, was in its starting stages by the time Brunelleschi finally passed away. As thanks for the work he'd completed, he was entombed within the Santa Maria del Fiore, a remarkable honor for the day, and a statue is made of his likeness on site, which looks directly toward the Duomo, his architectural masterpiece.